Hello everyone, welcome to another week of 2SRL Tier 2. This week, after Bahrain last week, we're here in China. I think it's Shanghai Circuit, something like that. I'm joined by Kimmy, as always.
Hello,
Hello.
I'm here again. Yeah, somewhat excited to see this race. It can be either really good or really boring. There's no really in between with China. But I've got the Daytona 400 on my other screen, so if I'm bored, I got something to watch, which is absolutely great fun. If you haven't been watching, it's free to watch if you're in Europe on the IMSA website. Great stuff.
Pog Pog. Well, China is... it's a bit cloudy, so hopefully there's going to be some rain.
Yeah.
I just want to see rain, always. China's just one of those tracks. I really like it to drive it, but I don't like to race it, that's the thing. Because it is all about the DRS on this track. The back straight is just so long going into that hairpin, and then the main straight with the DRS turns 1 to I don't even know how many turns there is there. I think 3. Basically, the first sequence of that snailish right left. It's just really slow and really hard to get it right. And there's quite a few lines through there, I think. So yeah, that's quite interesting. And then of course the corner before the back straight, the long right-hander is quite long. I mean, it is. Wait, I need to get warmed up. But yeah, the long right-hander is. It is quite long, of course, but it's easy to lose spin out. At least for me, there's so many points of this on China that I lose. I lose it by myself on traction. That's quite insane.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think China was the first league race I ever did in F1, and I think I ended up. You commentated that race, didn't you? Actually,
I did.
Yeah, I didn't end up in the points, but yeah,
You had quite
somewhat
a
good
lot of
experience.
battles.
Yeah, I remember racing Shaka quite a lot, but he's not here today because he is not a tier 2 driver. Anyways, so people, yeah, are just on the outlaps getting ready. What sort of lap times are you expecting to see today?
I think we could see a 29 or maybe a 28. I really don't remember what lap times are good at China. But one person I'm gonna be on board with here is Neth, because you know, he is the tier 2 manager right now, so and he's driving his race here, so might as well give him at least one lap of
Glory.
screen time here before he DNFs on lap 1.
And
Not trying to
he's
jinx.
opted for the medium tires, I see already. So yeah, the soft tires degrade very easily on this track. So qualifying on mediums might not be the worst idea on this track.
Yeah. I think with this track it has quite a few strategies. I know that some people, and when I say some people I mean some idiot, who raced in Tier 1 last season, is not racing this year. I mean this season. You might see some idiot but backwards, which is actually Silent Ace, as Zola retires, and he actually lost it through the corners where Netha just went. So I think Zola actually crashed out by himself in qualifying. I think he lost it on that left-right S section, which is almost flat out, or I think it actually is flat out. But it is easy to lose if your setup is a bit unstable, as we already have the lap times of 130.1 by Epic posted in. Goran with 30.5.
Oh, nearly 29 there.
Yeah, and
there we go. Hammer with the 29.5.
Yeah. So I think
so if I remember,
end of session. Yeah, end of session. I think we should be able to see a high 28 or a really low 29.
I think Ace Boy in Tier 3, he had like a 29.1 or something. I can't remember exactly, but something along those lines. So yeah, I definitely expect the lap times to drop, maybe dip into the 28s.
As Neth goes with 30.7 on the medium tires, which in itself is quite a good lap time. 2 tenths faster than Joel. But yeah, so those mediums, if you want to start on mediums, you really want to go out as late as possible. Mostly because you want to get as best of a lap time as possible, and later on in the race or in qualifying, the track is more rubbered in and is faster. So if you go out of mediums at the start and you want to qualify in the mediums, it's not when you want to do it. So yeah, maybe it's just some sightseeing laps and just testing.
Yeah, I mean, Tuesday for Tier 3, Owen, he did the whole qualifying on mediums. Wasn't very successful with it, but he did it. So maybe that's the strat that Neth is going for.
So yeah, the thing with this track, I was speaking about multiple strategies. You have, you could possibly pull off a soft medium, but your tire management needs to be spot on. I think medium hard is also an option, but I don't think it's this is the preferred one. I don't think the hards are too fast. And I think you could do 2 stops. You can literally do anything that comes to mind, and you can make it work. And yeah, in chat, Neon Race saying it was his first league race too. And Ocean Chief checked him, but yeah, Neon Race had an impressive showing in the league race in Tier 3 last season here in China, because he started dead last basically, or on the back row, and he ended up winning the race. I think he got a bit of help from a late safety car in the race, giving him a free pit stop, but yeah, last to first basically. So that was a really good showing from him back then for his first league race, or one of the first ones he had.
Yeah, and that already it was a sort of an indication of things to come for Neon Race, as he definitely was the guy to beat come the latter end of Tier 3, and I hope to see him up there at the top today in qualifying.
Oh, I forgot to switch screens.
Oh, we've been in an interview this whole time.
Well, you know, rookie mistake. It's one of my first time commentating.
Yes.
Yes.
This is your first league race commentating, correct?
Yeah, it is.
Of course.
Yeah, China is my first commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have Neon Race saying too much pressure, lads. I can't catch Hammer's time.
Too
Interesting.
much pressure, right? Well, ignore us. Just do what you would do best, I guess. You've done last to first before. You know what to do.
Yeah.
Crystals is actually challenging the Hammer slightly. He's only 900ths. I don't know. He's close. I don't know what it is.
Crystals,
time,
who actually had such bad luck in the last 2 races. In Australia, he got disqualified due to...
Did he get disqualified both times?
Yeah, he got disqualified both times. In Australia, I think he spun out on track and tried reversing, and I'm not entirely sure what happened in Bahrain, but he did also get disqualified there. So in Australia, he managed to get, I think, 3rd position, and then in Bahrain, he DNF'd sadly because he picked up some damage, and then it just didn't go his way. But Crystals definitely is on the pace. Silent missed out on Bahrain last week, but in Australia, he had a really good qualifying performance. Basically being tied for pole with, I think it was Hammer? Yeah, I think it was Silent and Hammer on the front row, and Neon Race was 3rd. I think it was something like that.
I think it was the other way around. I think Neon Race was on pole in Australia. I can't remember exactly now. But yeah, it was. They produced the exact same lap time, so that was quite cool to see.
Yeah, that's what I remember. That's the important part. Yeah, so we have Neon Race, who is actually on his out lap here. And you know, he does the same thing as always. Waits a bit from the start, sees what other people do, and decides to go out a bit later than everyone else. So yeah, his first lap is about to start in around 20-ish seconds to 30-ish seconds. As he's just gonna stroll all the way down a bit of a slide there. The track doesn't seem to be too grippy. I feel like quite a few people are going to be sliding on traction, especially when you want to push the limits with the setup. So Furious goes with a 29.2, so a really good lap time from him here.
He was very unlucky in Bahrain, I remember.
Yeah, in Australia as well. Didn't have a good start to the season, but I remember I said Furious has the pace if he wants to, and I think he just showed that right now. I think he was also racing on a wheel, and I think he decided to go back to the pad, so that could help. But anyways, Neon Race is starting his lap time here, so might as well go on board with him. Going into turn 1, this long right-hander that just doesn't stop and gets tighter as Neon Race has a bit of a moment sliding on the outside and a switch back to the left, and that's the lap.
Okay.
No
So I did. So I guess he made a mistake, because I'm currently riding on board with Crystals. He's been having a pretty clean lap so far. I think he could be enough to maybe challenge for P2. I can't currently see his delta. I can try have a look. Delta, where is it?
Yeah.
I don't know how to see it.
I didn't see his sector 2 deltas. He's picking up subscription from NJJ there on the backstraight. Kinwin leaves the session. He can rejoin, hopefully. Going into the hairpin, he's gonna brake just below that Rolex sign, hitting the apex as early as possible on throttle, pins it down, And going into this last turn is quite a tricky one,
Oh.
especially if it's going into the pits. Try not to do the Hamilton 2007.
Yes, when he single-handedly threw away his
Oh, Neff.
championship. Oh,
Neff.
Neth, hello.
Neff goes 29-1. Okay.
So Neth out of nowhere, we were just sort of vibing, not really paying attention to him, but yeah, so the tier 2 admin, currently P1.
And let's see what Hammer does here. Hammer is actually
Yeah.
a 10th up on his lap time as well, through sector 2. So let's see. That right-hander doesn't seem too clean though. He caught a bit too much curb there, but he could still gain some time, especially in the last few corners. The last turn is usually where you want to keep it safe, especially on your kind of first lap. Mostly because how easy it is to invalidate if you run a bit wide. But anyways, coming into the hairpin, he brakes just below the Rolex board. I think that's where everyone is going to be braking. Goes a bit deep, but no issues. Third gear, full throttle, much faster than what Crystals did. And into the last turn, a tiny bit of brake, tiny bit of lift. Hits the apex. Quite nicely done there. And he's going to go 29.3, putting him P3 here. So a good lap time from him.
So yeah, an improvement in his lap time, but not an improvement in his current position. Yeah. It's still a very strong lap, and I think he could probably eke out 1 or 2 more 10s, because it looked a bit scruffy in some places on that lap, so don't expect him to be out of contention yet. Someone else, Kinyuan, I think he's joined back now. He's gone onto the mediums. So I'm not sure if qualifying the mediums is the best strat here, because if you qualify outside the top 10 anyways, then you have just wasted your tires a little bit, because you get to choose them to start the race.
Yeah, for sure. The thing is though, now is probably the time where you would want to go out on mediums, and everyone kind of set their lap times. There's always some room for improvements, except for like Neon Rays and Larson. I think we could be seeing them inside the top 10. I don't know about it. Like,
Kinyuan has a massive spin, and yeah, those tires are done.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, he manages to catch it, keeps it at the wall, so he doesn't retire, but that was a huge spin. So yeah, that's not what he wanted. So go on.
Yeah, as he goes around again.
Yeah, so those tires are cooked.
I think we're just used to seeing the Mercedes doing donuts. I think he's just
yes, this is has been a Valtteri Bottas in Turkey moment.
Yeah. We love Bottas.
We love Bottas. I think
Bottas.
Neon Rays has opted for medium tires as well for his last lap.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure.
It's still quite cloudy, so the track's probably a bit colder than usual, but
yeah.
Much rather have a cold track over a really hot track. So.
Yeah, for sure. I remember doing a race once on it's ACC, different sim, but it was 46 degrees at Zandvoort. That was painful.
Yeah, I had something similar about in Barcelona.
Yeah, so like I feel like the optimum temperature is like around the 20 degrees. So if it doesn't get too cold, you can still heat your tires up, but it doesn't get too hot, so that you just slide everywhere.
I think like 22, 24 is usually the best.
Yeah.
Neon Rays is out of the pits though. I think this will be his last run. He needs to get it done right.
Yeah, he's opted for a medium tire,
yep.
So a bit of a risky strategy, but if it pays off, it's a very good one.
And actually right behind him we have a Ledro on his lap. I think it's his first race, at least my first time ever seeing him. If so, welcome. If not, welcome back. Don't remember seeing that name before, so yeah.
I do believe it is his first race. He's a very nice guy. He sent me a few messages in DMs just asking if he could race and all that. And I'm like, yeah, just sign up a bit and then
blah blah blah. He goes a bit deep into that hairpin.
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah.
Sorry. Apparently he's an Xbox player, and this is going to be his first race on PC.
Oh, interesting. I think the game's a bit different on Xbox and PC, at least a tiny bit in lap times, or I don't know, just performance-wise. So
I don't know if there's a different assists for like pad assists for Xbox and PS4 or stuff like that. I'm not sure, but it'll be interesting to see if you can transition, because it will be different performance-wise, and also I guess you generally play Xbox on the TV, and PCs on a monitor generally with higher refresh rates. So theoretically should be better, but we'll have to see.
As he's on the back straight, no clue about deltas here because I of course haven't been paying attention, but yeah, going to the last corner. Brakes at the same spot as everyone else, maybe a tiny bit earlier, a couple of meters earlier, but hit the apex just as fine. Going to the last turn, he's probably going to want to keep it safe, but he goes too wide, doesn't invalidate. It's going to be a 31-3, putting him P13, so he goes past Neon Rays and Larson. Neon Rays is actually on his lap here. This will be his last lap on the mediums, unless he wants to risk it too much and start on quite old and used mediums, which I don't think you want to do on China. So yeah, on his lap here.
Yeah.
Larson was going out of the pits as well for only one run.
Yeah, and I think everyone else is apart from 2 or 3 people in the pits. Everyone else is out trying to.
Oh, Neff actually did a 28.9.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I literally jumped on board as he crossed the line. I was gonna say he just crossed the line at 28.9, so that's the first 28 lap time we've seen today. It's a very strong performance from Neff. Furious is starting his lap, it seems. Derhammer is gonna start his lap soon as well. So yeah, a lot of people on outlaps now getting ready to do the final push.
Neon Rays as well. His lap has been looking somewhat clean, but he did have quite a few moments. So as Hammer moves out of his way, and Neon Rays hits the apex on the hairpin at the end of the lap, going to the last turn. Needs to keep it good and get a good exit here because this will be his only run. And he's gonna cross the finish line with a 131.0, 139.999. Which will put him P12, so I don't think this is exactly where he wants to start, unless he does want to start on the mediums and wanted to start P11.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a big performance difference between medium and soft tires, but the soft tires just don't last at all. So, yeah, interesting to see what he's thinking now to do. See, let's hammer past. I need to quickly go AFK for about a minute and use for something else, so I'll be right back.
Anyways, Hammer is on his lap time here as well, also his last run. Will be trying to challenge for pole. He did miss out, or he did improve by around 2/10 on his last lap. His first one was at 29.5, now it's at 29.3, so he could potentially be challenging for P2 here, unless he finds a lot of time in Sector 2, and he's going to be up by 200, so not that big of an improvement. I wouldn't even put him up to P2 just yet, but coming into the last, not last turn, but in the last straight, so to say. Probably one of the longer straights as well in F1. It's quite a signature part of China as well, I would say. But yeah, coming into the last turn, or penultimate turn, he's just barely improving on his lap time. And let's see if he's going to get pole. Furious also done with his qualifying. It's P2 right now, but Hammer could challenge this potentially. It's going to be a 29.3, just a tiny improvement and not enough to go P2. But I think he will be securing P3 unless Epic has something to say about it. And hello Nico in chat. And Wimpy saying these times are tier 1 level. Yeah, Neff is...
Neff is speed.
He is, but you know, he uses line, so bad.
Yeah, so so Furious, great P2 from him after the last race's qualifying woes where he got disqualified because he got put to the back of the grid because he joined mid session, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the worst thing about the game. Joining mid session just says no, good night. At that point, it's just pointless even doing qualifying because you know you're just gonna start last anyway. So
yeah. As Nico says, he's going to be slow in tier 1 tonight. Yes, we don't talk about that. Just good luck. Anything can happen, you know.
Yeah.
It's China, so safety cars don't really happen often, but when they do, it's
quite crucial when a safety car happens.
Yeah.
A lot happens on track, and China is about DRS. If you manage to stay close to someone through Sector 2, you're basically gonna stay behind them through sectors 1 and 3 as well. So Sector 2 is really where you need to stay close to someone because everywhere else you're just there by default because it's just a straight. So
yeah.
but yeah,
also,
this has been qualifying. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Dragon's birthday today.
Oh, it is? Are we gonna sing?
I think so. Well, we're gonna need a confirmation in chat, but
yeah, happy birthday if it is.
If it is your birthday, happy birthday.
It is. No, I don't want to sing live on stream. It's be a bit cringe.
Yeah, I don't think we should sing that. That is quite cringe.
It is.
Alright.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday,
so
though.
very happy birthday to Dragon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck in the race tonight.
Yeah. Pitavara saying he's 5 tenths slower than Friday. Uh, that will put him with the 29.1 then. So still a good lap time, nonetheless. I don't think it can even do a 30. So you know.
No, I can't remember. I think I was doing 31s or 32s or something when I did this track. So yeah, there's a reason I'm a commentator.
In-car commentary one.
I was actually thinking that
Wait, is it
one day
raining?
I should just join. I don't see.
No, it's not. It was just yeah, Furious saying thank you, Pat, helps me out. Yeah. I think he did mention last week round that the wheel is not the best thing, and yeah, the pad definitely is paying out this week,
Yeah,
putting him
yeah.
P2. So
I remember I tried a race in Spa with the pad just to see how it was,
yeah, I
and
remember
the
that
learning
race.
the learning curve to try and learn how to drive with the pad compared to having driven with the wheel for the past 5 years was interesting to say the least. I couldn't figure it out, but I can see why people like it.
I was actually with F1 2019. There was some time where I was actually considering drive, and not 2019, 2020. There was some time where I was actually considering driving with a pad because I just didn't enjoy the game. I mean, I still don't enjoy it. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you got two full-time ACC drivers commentating F1 and just trashing F1, but that's besides the point.
that's besides the point. Uh, if there's one thing I like about F1, it's the fact it's an F1 car. And that's
Yeah,
kind of it.
true.
And you know,
Yeah.
so some tracks are just really cool. At least I like them, like Baku. Um, I,
Like
I
Baku.
I mean Baku is unironically my favorite F1 track.
It's quite fun, yeah. But I also think tracks like Singapore
Yeah,
is very fun, and Monaco, I guess, is a classic. But I don't know how fun it is in F1. I
I,
remember
it's
trying
fun
to
to
drive
drive,
it,
not
and
fun to race.
yeah, I remember Tier 3 last season, my wheel settings messed up. So when I was turning 180 degrees on game, was only turning 90, and I couldn't figure out until like 2 minutes at the end, and I had to mess with my steering settings after qualifying had finished. But I didn't manage to qualify properly because I kept understeering into the wall.
Yeah, I remember that. I did commentate that race as well.
Yeah.
Some minor inconveniences, but anyways, outside the top 10, we have Goran on the mediums, Neon Rays on the mediums, Kinuin on the mediums, Eladro on the mediums, and then Zola in P16 and NJJ on P12, both on hards. Everyone else in the top 10, including Larson, who actually did put in a valid lap time towards the end of the session on softs. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what the soft runners are going to do this race.
Yeah.
Especially people in front like Nev, who I think do want to get off the line and pull out a gap before DRS is enabled.
Yeah, but that's easier said than done in China, especially the slipstream is still powerful down the straight. So even if you don't have DRS, you can still sort of stick with the guy in front.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Sector 2 is really the only place where you lose out a lot because of dirty air. Those corners are, I think, flat out in qualifying. In the race in the dirty air with a heavier car, it's going to be much harder to stay behind someone and keep the throttle pulled down. You're definitely going to have to lift. But anyways, we have the 5 red lights going on here for the Chinese Grand Prix as they go out. And of course, the cars start moving about now. And I think off the line, Silent might have gotten a good start. And Furious actually gets a blistering start, going P1 already. Off the line, Silent as well up to P3. Hammer losing out a lot on the start, and Neth is challenging but goes a bit wide, and Silent is sending it in on the inside. Neth defending, and Neth is going to keep that P2. Hammer up in P4, and Silent with a really good start as well, and Furious as well. So Silent and Furious, really good starts. Eladro in the back, Zola, and Kinwin are fighting, and Zola is thinking for a move on Kinwin here, going into that hairpin, and he does get it done, but Kinwin has the better exit, better traction. Neon Rays and Larson are fighting it out as well, going side by side through the fast left-hander, switching back to the right. It's going to be the inside line for Neon Rays here. But Larson sticking around the outside, switches for a double inside for Larson here. But Neonrays are on the outside, sticks it and gets the job done. So that's really nice racing from Neonrays and Larson. In the
Yeah,
back, Quinn
so
gets the move done as well onto Zola Zola.
yeah, really great start from Neonrays and Goran. He's made it up to P9 already, so jumping two of the soft runners. Brilliant start from Furious. Just gets the traction off the line, and he's now weaving down the straight to try and either heat up his tires or break the slipstream. I don't know. But yeah, he had a brilliant start, and so did Silent. So yeah, Neth caught sleeping a little bit there.
Bryce and Epic fighting here. Bryce is going for a move into the hairpin on the inside of Epic here. And does he get the traction out of it though? That's the important part because Epic is going to have the inside line here for the last turn. And you really don't want to go side by side there as he thinks about it. I think there might have been a big contact, but nothing much. Epic keeps the position, but Bryce really is fighting for this. And XTXP is going to go past them both. XTXP sending one down the inside of the first turn. A bit of contact. I think he understeered into Epic, but Epic has the inside line here. XTXP trying to hang around the outside. Does he get the move done? I don't think he will, unless he will send one down the hairpin here. But yeah, XXP came out of nowhere, and he's gonna get past Epic as well. So 2 overtakes in 2 to 3 turns. So really well done.
Yeah,
for,
he's he man's on a mission. Yeah,
he almost got them both on the main straight as well.
Yeah, it was a good racing from XTXP, just making up as many positions at the start, which is quite important in F1. And there's a little bit of a gap forming behind Neth now. Only 1 second, so just outside DRS range, but behind Silent is their Hammer and Crystals, both within 5/10.
Yeah.
So once DRS opens up, and there's a flag,
that's a
and that's a Lydro, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he has any damage, but the wheels are going to be a bit cooked through, so he's going to have to be careful about that.
And I'm sorry, this is just a bit of a coincidence. As soon as he spun on the Daytona 24, someone else spun at the same time. It was just synchronized spinning. Anyways.
Valtteri bought this moment.
Yeah, so Epic up behind XTXP is thinking of a move, but decides to back out and just stay behind for. Oh, gets a little bit squirmy on exit.
As Silent Ace call back up to the DRS of Neth here, as DRS is actually enabled this lap. I think it enables lap 3, right? Should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I've commentated so many races, but I still always forget. But Ace on the back of Neth here now, so the top 5 all into DRS of each other, and Epic and XXP fighting it out, losing 2 seconds already to the cars in front, but they're having a battle of their own for P6 right now. Again, penalties on this track are not going to be a major factor since it is quite hard to pick up a penalty. But XXP and Epic fighting now. Epic trying to go for a move around the outside. XXP keeping the position, and I think he's going to keep it all the way through Sector 2 unless Epic's going to want to do something risky here. But I think he's going to bide his time and just wait.
Yeah. So yeah, just a little bit of back and forth ding-dong battles, but nothing major. It's just kind of hard to overtake without DRS and F1 cars.
So. XXP has a bit of a moment there on the exit. Might have lost some straight line speed, but the straight is not long enough for Epic to catch up. This would look like a moment. But it's just been... is Epic a bit on traction there? Needs to lift as well, so XT definitely has the better run here, but Epic's going to have the DRS. He's using up so much overtake. In comparison, XTXP has 27, so... but Epic with the DRS is going to be going for a move onto XTXP here, and should be quite easy around the outside. XXP defending. I don't know if defending right now is really what you want to be doing. I think you should just pull each other closer to the top 5 because you're already 2.1 seconds off on lap 4. So XXP is still staying up in front. So if not else, he's really putting on a show here for that P6.
Yeah, it's actually Epic gets past now with DRS into turn 1. So Epic is up to P6 now. But he's got 2.5 seconds to try and catch to get to that train up front with the top 5.
Yeah, and Epic's teammate Goran is in P9 on the mediums. He is the highest medium runner right now. Neon Ray's 1 second behind him. Neon Ray's was in a fight with Larson at the start of the race. Some nice fighting between them two. But yeah, Goran and Epic had a really strong showing last time around in Bahrain, picking up P2 and P3. With Hammer obviously winning it. Neon Ray's had that unlucky moment where his wheel disconnected. So yeah, that was...
Yeah, he was looking set to potentially fight for P2 in that one, but then he's exactly as you said, like his wheel disconnected and he made one major mistake and he had to take on the P4. Saying that though, Neth he got a bit of a poor exit there actually. So Silent is now right behind Neth with DRS, but Neth will get DRS as well. So might be a potential swap of positions for P2 here, but I don't think Silent. Yeah, he looks up the inside, but he backs out of it as Furious goes a little bit deep and Neth gets a little bit of a better exit. Might be able to take him into turn 1, but I think they're all just chilling behind each other at the moment.
Yeah, I think what Silent did there was he just moved out of slipstream just to kind of brush off some speed and not gain too much onto Neth. Because, you know, the Aris video, how to follow a car.
Yes. So Silent has been following our recommendations of videos to watch.
Yeah.
It's always great to see. The Aris video, brilliant video. I think we mention it every single stream, but it's very relatable.
I had to watch it again after Monday's race.
Oh. As you should, you know? Just gotta refresh yourself sometimes.
Yeah, but Hammer catching up is also... the top 5 are, I think, closer to each other right now than they've been at any point before in the race. So, yeah, it's quite interesting. Sector 2 is where they lose the time, but now they're staying quite close. 5/10s between each of them, and Crystal's in the back is actually gaining onto Hammer as he has a moment and he's gonna hit the wall. Oh no.
It's just unlucky. He just continues to get unlucky.
The moment I went on him.
Anyways, so that's Crystal's out of contention.
I didn't see any wing fly off.
No, I don't see any damage on his car either, but that's him out of the fight for the top 5 at the moment, which might be a bit of a blessing in disguise for Hammer. He doesn't have anyone to defend with for now. Yeah. But yeah, people just within 5/10 of each other, and the DRS train just proving to be a DRS train. Nothing really happening.
Yeah, I think I commentated another league last season as Crystal's gonna go into the pits, so he might have picked up damage. As there's actually quite a few people going to the pits, Hammer and Epic being some of them, and Crystal. So Crystal's going to change his tires here. Yeah, no front wing change, going onto the hards. So yeah, definitely didn't pick up any front wing damage, as Epic might have gotten held up a bit there by Hammer going out of the pits, but Crystal's not losing too much to Hammer. Actually, yeah, lost quite a bit.
Neth gets a bit squirmy there on exit. He's getting quite close to Furious now. He's pushing a little bit harder, I think. I think if you're gonna make a move, you're gonna make it now, because the Hammer will be on the undercut strategy. So if he can make this work, the Hammer might be able to jump 2 or 3 positions with the pit stops.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder what the undercut is actually gonna do here, and I wonder what strategy Neth, Silent, and Furious are going for, because, you know, maybe they are actually that tiny bit crazy and try to pull off a soft medium.
Yeah. It's tier 2. You see everything.
You know, it's nice to see Furious on top. You know, 2-time constructor champion. So as I'm saying that, Neth is trying to go for a move, and he actually forces Furious to go deep.
Beautiful.
Yeah, really nicely done.
That's a brilliant move by Neth. So yeah, he just forces Furious deep, makes a switchback.
And they're both going into the pits. As Furious goes deep, they're fighting into the pits.
Wow, okay. So Furious almost had a Lewis Hamilton moment, and that was an intense battle into the pits. Okay, but yeah, that unlocks Silent. So Silent is now leading the race. Don't know for how long. We'll have to see after these pit stops.
Neon Rays in P4 on the medium tires, just behind Bryce and Goran, so really close to P2 actually on track here, and around 6 seconds off of P1. And he's going a bit deep, locks up, and forces Goran, actually hits him, and I think he's gonna lift here for Goran to go past. So he's not gonna fight this. Yeah, I think that is a Neon Race. He did lock up into the turn, and yeah.
And I think while that was happening, their Hammer has gone past both Neth and Furious. So the little battling they did there has allowed the Hammer to get in front. So it's essentially net P1 or 2 now, depending on what happens with Silent.
Yeah, so the undercut for sure is strong as NJJ picks up the first penalty of the session, 3 seconds. I said the penalties are not going to be like massive, not as much as they were in Australia, which is still stand by the statement. I don't think China is a track where you pick up too many warnings. I think the
No,
only place
not
where you
really.
actually do pick up the warnings is the corner exit out of the last turn, really, when you run a bit too wide. And
Yeah.
even then, there's situations where you don't pick up anything.
Yeah, it's a bit of an unlucky place to
As
pick up.
Silent is actually pitting here as well, so Bryce going into the pits as well. So Neon Rays, uh, with the reverse strategy, starting 12th, is currently up P1, leading the race.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting to see how that strategy is going to work out at the end.
He's definitely going to
We
be on
know he,
faster tires because I think everyone that pitted onto hards is going towards the end now. I would
yeah.
believe, because otherwise you'd go to stop medium if you want to pit another time.
And yeah, so the Hammer and Neth get past Silent, but Furious doesn't actually. So I think Furious going deep into the pits has cost him quite dearly, actually.
Yeah, I think that fight with Neth definitely costing time, and maybe just adapting onto the hard tires is quite crucial, because going from soft to hards, you're changing two compounds, and yeah, cold hards are never really something you enjoy. I
No,
think you need to
and
be
they're not
quite
very
special
fun.
to enjoy cold hards.
Mm.
Like, he's staying quite close to Silent though. As long as he stays in the DRS, it's completely fine.
Yeah. So yeah, Neth right behind the Hammer. The Hammer had a brilliant strategy. I wonder if we can extend it and keep this lead, all depending on what Neon Rays and maybe Kinyuin as well, because Kinyuin's on the same strat base. Yeah, 7 seconds behind. It's just a yellow flag. Sector 3.
Ooh,
I
and
don't.
that's I think Epic. Oh, I think that's Epic who spun around, and he did pick up wing damage as well. Front left end plate is off.
Epic. No.
That wasn't quite epic.
No.
As Bryce is trying to pull a move onto Crystals here. On the inside, he's gonna go with the RS into the hairpin, and he might get it done. But Crystals is holding on. He cuts a bit of that apex there, and Crystals still hanging on, going to the last turn. This is not where you want to go side by side, and Bryce is gonna have to yield because Crystals does have the inside line, and yeah, going on the outside in that turn is you're always gonna run wide and risk getting a warning. So. He's going back into turn 1. Ooh, bumps a bit into Crystals. So I think he bumps him a bit wide here. And he's going to get the position done. I don't think that was the cleanest move, but I got it done. But Crystals hanging on the outside. And he might get the traction here to go onto Bryce. But he's going for it. Into the hairpin. And he gets past. So that's some nice
good fighting, though.
Yeah. As
And,
in the meantime, Epic retires in the pits.
yeah.
So F in chat
Yeah,
for
I
Epic.
think F's in chat. Yeah, exactly. F's in chat. While this is happening, the Hammer and Neth have called to Elijah, and the Hammer's gone past crucially, but Neth has yet to pass him, so he's losing a lot of time behind him now, which could be precious come the end of the race. Yeah, so they're already beginning to catch people on alternative strategies. Although I think Neth, with the DRS here, might be able to take Elijah and try and to mount his charge again.
Yeah, but he already lost
yeah.
2 seconds to Hammer though.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of time he lost to Hammer, so he needs to push quite massively now to catch up back to the DRS of Hammer. He's on 1 lap fresher tires, but it's not going to play into much effect here at this stage in the race.
No, for sure not. Although I think from qualifying we saw that Neth has a bit more raw pace, so maybe that could help him catch up. But we know that Hammer is a very quick driver, so yeah, it's unlucky to get stuck behind someone for an extra lap.
Hammer is trying to make it 3 wins in a row here today, and Neon Rays is trying to get his maiden win in Tier 2. So it's going to be interesting to see Neon on the reverse strategy. Won last time round in Tier 3 in China. And by last time round, I of course mean last season, where he started outside of the top 10 on the medium tires and got helped by a safety car when he wanted to pit. So it's kind of, or did he actually start on the hards that time around? But you know, the scenario is basically the same. He's leading the race, and a safety car helped him back then, and If it happens again, I'm gonna be having a bit of deja vu, I think.
Yeah. And there's also the McLaren outside the points, so this also is a bit of deja vu to me, having Neil Race leading. As I
As
was McLaren driver.
Ace is gonna get past Eladro here. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I would think with
yeah.
DRS it's just an easy move.
Yeah, so Silent trying to catch up to Neth now. Neth actually has closed the gap to the Hammer quite a little bit. He's only 1.3 seconds behind now, so he's slowly catching, but we'll see with the dirty air because he's within that range now. If he can actually manage to get within a second.
Yeah, as Neon Race has a 12.1 second gap to Hammer. I think the pit lane is around 20 seconds long, if not more. It's quite a long
Yeah,
pit lane
about.
actually, so might be
And
22-ish.
also, you can lose a lot of time on the entrance of it,
Yeah.
as we saw earlier with Furious. So, yeah, it's he's not cleared yet, Neon Race. I think he'd be hoping for a safety car right now.
Yeah, he definitely is, but he does have a massive gap as well as all the only car behind him. So I think Neon Race, who's doing a different strategy than everyone else, he might be doing a medium to hard or a medium to soft if he is confident enough in his tire management. I think Neon Race does have quite good tire management, so there is a chance he could pull it off. Or there might be rain in the later stages of the race, which we don't know about. As Eladro loses it, I just barely saw it in the back. Manages to not put it in the wall. Doesn't pick up any damage, but I think this is the second time he went off with those medium tires.
Yeah, so those.
Neff is back in
he wanted to
DRS,
pit.
and he's not gonna have it. He was just not close enough, just barely missing out on the DRS, on the detection zone.
Yeah. I think with his pace, next lap he should be able to get DRS.
But Hammer's got almost 30% ERS more than him. So,
Yeah, but he's just been chilling up front. I mean, that's another thing when you're trying to attack and mount the charge, you use much more ERS as well. So
yeah, definitely.
so you gotta manage it. And I guess once you get DRS, ERS doesn't matter as much because then you can just sort of stick with them in the DRS zone. But yeah, until then, you gotta use it.
As Joel picked up a penalty as well. Joel in P9 right now. Last week round he went for a bit of a weird strat, hitting quite early on, and eventually retiring from the race. Today he's not having the best race. We know Joel definitely has the pace. I think in Australia he showed that he showed his pace. He was quite high up for quite a bit in the race. Again, didn't go his way towards the end.
Yeah. Yeah, so just Joel also, I think he pitted lap 3 or something, or 4, because he's got 7 lap old mediums on, so he's definitely one of the first pit stoppers.
And
Maybe
he's going for a 2-stop in that case.
Yeah, probably well, yeah, he is actually, unless he, well, no, I don't think there's a way he can make those mediums last to the end. So yeah, he's definitely going for a 2-stop strategy.
And here we have Hammer, who just went past NJJ, another person who didn't pit yet. So Hammer going past, and Neth really needs to go past here, but I think Neth might have made a mistake because he's now 8 tenths behind NJJ. He lost quite a bit of time to Hammer here. He was within the DRS, and yeah, not close enough anymore.
Yeah, maybe he just got caught up by some of the dirty air in the second sector. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Or the Hammer managed to get DRS on NJJ and pull him through. But yeah, he definitely needs to clear him this lap. Neth does, in order to try and mount the attack yet again. But he's going to lose time behind NJJ.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I kind of spaced out. Crystal's P11 right now. Crystals, who had that spin, was with the top 5 at the time where he had the spin. Lost quite a lot of time. Is behind Bryce right now. Bryce, who he's an interesting driver. Sometimes he's really on pace, and sometimes he's not. I think today's race is he is in the top 10 pace, but he's not in the top 5 pace, I would say. And Crystals, after that spin, I think when something like that happens, it's it hits your mental quite hard, and I think you're gonna be safe. There's two things that can happen as Neth goes past NJJ here, but there's two things that happens when you spin. You either try to push harder to regain back the time, or you go slower because you don't want to spin. And if you push harder, the chances of you spinning again is going to be much higher, as Bryce is pulling a move onto Joel here. Around the outside, Joel defends, but this is going to put Crystals closer. But I don't think Crystals is close enough to get it done, as Ace puts in the fastest lap of the race. But as I was saying, so once a spin happens, you're either going to push harder and the chances of you spinning are going to go up, or you're going to go slower and your pace is going to be slower in general. As Bryce and Joel are fighting into turn 1, and Bryce seems to be getting the move done, but Joel defending on the inside, and Crystals is going on the inside of Bryce here, and he's going to have the better traction out of the corner as well. And he's gonna.
Was the big contact, and off he goes. Bryce is probably. I think he's into the wall now, actually.
Yeah, didn't
So
pick up
he's
any
hit
damage.
the wall.
I didn't see the contact, but.
Yeah, no, there's a bit of a contact on the exit there. So yeah, Bryce seems to have gotten away with it, but that's definitely ruined his chance. Okay, I think he's pulling over to the side, and I think he's going to retire. Yeah, so he's retired from the session. This might bring out a
it won't.
No, I don't think so.
Retiring
He's
on track
moving.
like that doesn't bring out a safety car for some reason.
Okay.
But we have Ace here, who's on the back of NJJ as well. So I think every lap someone is catching up to him. To answer the question in chat by Dragon, yes, Crystals did spin. I think it was around the start of the race, around lap 4 or 5. So that's when Crystal spun. But we also have Neth and Zola fighting, or Neth getting past Zola here. 1.4 seconds off of Hammer. He lost quite a bit fighting these alternate strategy. And Neon Rays 8.8 seconds in front of Hammer. He was 12 seconds clear of Hammer at some point, but Hammer gained 3 seconds since then. So yeah. It's going to be interesting to see after Neon Race pits. He's already done 14 laps in those mediums, and I'm actually interested to see what strategy he's going to opt for.
Yeah, I think he's just surely waiting for a safety car. But the chances are slim of that happening right now. As
Crystals and Joel are fighting into turn 1 and turn 2. And again, this is where Crystals got past Bryce. I didn't see the contact. You said there was some contact on the exit there, but Crystal's going to stay back this time around. Joel defending the position, but I don't think Joel's medium tires are much faster than the mediums, than the hards of Crystals here. So Crystals is all over the back of Joel at this point. And XXP, who had a really good race start, is up to P8 right now, or up. He is P8, but I think he's gonna gain a couple positions from NJJ and Zola pitting. Don't know about if Neon Rays is gonna come out in front or behind of XXP here.
Yeah, I think if all the people who've yet to do the pit stop go behind him, he will be net P5. But you're right about Neon Rays. I think Neon Rays might come up P4 or something, maybe, depending. I'm not too sure.
No, P4. That's. No. I think he's gonna come out like P8 or P9, somewhere around there.
Okay. No, but I mean like after the other two, like Zola and NJJ have pits as well.
Yeah. Anyways,
P5.
Ace got past Zola here as well. So yeah, we have the top 3 that we had in the top 5 already pushing back up to the top 4 right now with Neon Rays. So Hammer currently net P1, Neth is net P2, and Ace is net P3 right now.
As Joel goes into the pit.
Furious, who had that interesting battle with Neth going into the pits, which was quite interesting to see. Lost quite a bit there, so yeah, he's not that close to everyone as he was before, but he is fighting NJJ here on the inside. Wants to get past him so he can catch up to Ace, and I think he does get past. The tires are going to have much better traction, and he gets past NJJ. As Crystals picks up a 3-second penalty.
So Neth is now within DRS range of their Hammer now. So I think it's just a matter of time before he mounts an attack and starts charging towards Neon Rays.
Yeah, and Hammer gained almost 1.3 seconds since last lap onto Neon Rays here. Also, what Neth can do now that he's going to have DRS is just save up his DRS and eventually go on a move on Hammer. Hammer's not going to have that option to save up DRS because he's going to need to push it and use it to defend from Neth if he wants to keep the track position. Because I think even if you have DRS, having track position is much more important. But the thing is, with Hammer, he doesn't have anyone in front to give him the DRS. He doesn't have a back marker. He doesn't have someone on an alternate strategy like Neon Rays. And I think Neon Rays is gonna go into the pits before Hammer catches up to him. So 17 laps. I think if he pulls around 4 more laps on those medium tires, he definitely could go onto the softs. And if he does go into the softs, he has around 3 to 4 laps to get the job done and to get up to P3 or the podium or wherever he wants to finish. I think everyone wants to win the race, so...
Yeah, he's definitely extending those medium tires. I suspect they're at the end of their lifetime, but we know he's good on the tires. So maybe he knows something we don't.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what his tires are actually on, as Joel and Kinwin are fighting here into turn 1. Joel on the inside of Kinwin, and I think Kinwin yields and Joel goes past. So that was one of the. It is hard getting past someone in turn 1 just because of how the corner is made, and everyone wants to turn in, and it's easy to understeer into someone. But yeah, I think that was still one of the easier overtakes we've seen all session, if we don't count the ones on the back straight.
Yeah. And Neth now 7 attempts with DRS, is not using his DRS. The Hammer, on the other hand, is also saving it. So it's just slowly but surely sticking to the Hammer, but not really getting close enough to the mountain attack yet.
Yeah, but what's interesting, Neth is actually using his ERS up in Sector 2, because last lap on the back straight he was really low ERS, around 9%, and this lap he was 9% as well, which makes me think he actually does use it in Sector 2, because otherwise he'd be gaining it back. Also, I don't think China is that easy to harvest ERS as well, so...
and Neon Race comes out with soft tires, so he's going to try and make those soft tires last for 10 laps. And I think you were right about the P8 prediction, as Elijah has another spin. Yeah. Going onto the back straight. That's what the yellow flags were for. So yeah, Neon Race on soft tires, that's...
He needs to make up 16.3 seconds to Hammer.
Yeah.
In around 4 laps on the soft tires, which would mean he'd need to go around...
He'd have to lap a person per lap, but the gaps are quite big.
The gaps are quite big, so yeah, but he's gaining quite a lot. The soft tires are objectively the fastest tire. As someone else spun, I think that's Kinwin who spun out of the snaily section at the start. But yeah, as I was going to say, yeah, the soft tires are definitely the fastest tire on China, as they are on any other track. But the thing is, they last not as long as any other tire, let's say it like that.
And that's about 6-7 laps or so. We've got 10 laps to go, so I'm not sure the soft tire is the best strat, but maybe he can make it work.
As he actually goes past Crystals here already, so that's one job done. 6 more to go if he wants this race win. 2.3 seconds to the next car, which is XXP. Everyone in the top 6 right now pitted around the same time window, except for Zola, who is yet to pit. So that's going to be one position for Neon Rays. And Neon Rays, I think, will be the fastest lap holder of this race, unless Zola will have something to say about it when he eventually pits as well. And I think Zola will be going onto the softs as well when he actually chooses to pit.
Yeah, he's the soft hard strategy. He's gonna try and make it work. But I think the hard tires could last about 20 laps or so. So that would be perfect for him. I'm still a bit skeptical with Neon Race's strategy. I think mediums might have been a better tire choice, just simply because he's gonna be behind people in dirty air quite a lot. That's gonna eat into tire wear, and there's still 9 laps to go, which could be around the point with puncture territory for the soft tires. So definitely very risky. This is
the issue. Mediums are not an option because he started on mediums.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So he literally can't go on the mediums, and the hards would be quite bad to go here because there's so little time left, and he needs to gain quite a lot of time to make it work. But he already gained 2 seconds onto XXP this lap, and he's gonna get past him. So Neon Rays up to P6 right now. And next car up in front is 4 seconds ahead, which is Zola, and in front of that it's on track. It's around 4.5 seconds to Furious, which
As the Ozolo goes into the pits now, so he's got free air until he catches up to Furious.
and he's gaining quite a lot. Fastest lap of the race right now, 32.3 on Neon Race. So that's an extra point for him as it is. 3.7 seconds. Hammer though leading the race, and Hammer looking to make it 3 in a row. As there's a yellow flag, and that's Eladro who I think spun out again. I think it's in the same spot as always. I think it's a classic. We could start calling that corner the Eladro corner from this point on. But I think Crystal's lost it there as well, so you know.
Yeah, the spin corner. Yeah, so Elijah having a little bit of a. He's struggling today, but that might again be the change from Xbox to PC. I don't know how much of a difference it is, but well, hopefully he can learn from what he's doing today and be competitive the coming few races.
Yeah, as we have Hammer leading the race with 40% ERS and Net behind him on 22. So Hammer basically has double the ERS, which is going to help him in the last few laps when Net will be wanting to go for a move. Also, the thing about the move, you kind of want to get it done with around 3 laps left or so, because the hard tires are going to be dropping off as he goes a bit deep there, but doesn't lose too much time. Meanwhile, Neon Race 2.3 seconds off of Furious here. And he is catching quite fast.
Yeah, so I think he's catching about 2 seconds a lap at the moment. But I'm still, how long can those soft tires last on that pace?
I think lap 23 to 24 is when those softs are going to be done. And everything else is going to be nursing them to the end. So
he really has to make those moves now.
Yeah, and I don't think P3 really is achievable here with those tires, sadly.
No, I don't think so either. I think also maybe in the last few laps he will be struggling that much that the hard tire runners will be faster than him, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, the hard tires could be faster than him as Joel retires in the pits, so it's third DNF of the session.
It's sad to see him go. That's his third retirement. No, did he retired in Australia? Did he? What about Bahrain? I can't remember.
Bahrain, he retired as well.
Okay, so yeah, definitely an unlucky start to the season, and for some reason his car has decided to go back onto the track.
That's what it always does. The way that you retire in this game is, if you retire while you're driving in the pits, you're going to go out. But if you retire when they're changing your wheels, the car stays in.
I was blocked in the pit lane once by someone retiring while changing wheels. I couldn't move. I entered the pit lane and just stopped me in the tracks, held me for like 10 seconds, and then I could go for some reason. But yeah.
As Neon Race is on the back of Furious here.
Yeah.
And he's going to be getting past, I think, this lap.
Yeah, it could potentially get him into turn 1 as well, maybe.
Yeah, he is looking for it, but he's not going to go for it. As Furious takes a bit of the grass there.
Yeah, and Neth, he's just sort of slowly just hanging behind the Hammer. He can't really seem to find the pace or the exits to catch up to him down the straights.
Yeah, and Zola does pick up the fastest lap as Neon Race thinks about it, but has to stay behind.
It's actually a pretty strong lap from Zola there. Yeah, I was saying that the Hammer is doing a really good job defending for what could be a hat-trick win.
Yeah, as Hammer is trying to make it 3 in a row, Joel definitely did make it 3 in a row. So you know, I don't think
different kind of hat-trick, but yes, it is a hat-trick. Okay, and Joel in chat says he will win the next race, so we'll see.
Hopefully, because this is now becoming Hamilton level dominance. So yeah.
Yeah, we need another winner to do it for us, Joel. As Neon Race very close to Furious. Furious swerving a little bit to try and break the slipstream, but I think Neon Race. Ooh, at the last second decides to go to the outside. Furious goes a bit deep. Neon Race cuts back. I think that's the move done. He gets a better exit.
But Furious has the inside here.
The inside, yeah, exactly.
He's gonna have to hang it around the outside, which he does, and he gets the job done. So I think that's the first time we've seen this today, where someone actually decides to hang it around the outside, and that's nicely done from Neon Race.
Off.
And
Yeah, but
that's
Furious is not done. He's have we look up the inside? There's Elijah's car is in the way. Yeah, but Nearways stays in front into turn 1, 2, and 3. So I think Nearways has his move done, but his tires might be beginning to struggle a bit now.
yeah, definitely. 5.4 seconds left to the next car, which is Silent. We know Silent is one of the faster people, and yeah, I don't think catching up to him at this point is going to be a real possibility.
Yeah, as actually, so I just quickly went on board with Silent, and he had a very big slide on exit there, so that's not going to help his case. But yeah, Neth again 7/10 behind the Hammer, so he won't be close enough to pass him under the US here. I don't think.
No, at that stage you really won't be close enough. Both of them are boosting, so yeah, both of them boost on the exit there to try to get as much speed as possible. And I think Hammer's gonna stay up in front once more, as he's got 10% more ERS than Neth.
Yeah. So yeah, just the struggles of China, I guess. It's the thing with these sort of tracks, like you lose all the time in Sector 2, so you can't really, in Sector 3, you can't really be close enough to making a move.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so Neon Race slowly, sorry?
Neth is catching up as Neon Race gets a 3-second time penalty.
Oh no.
And Neth is really close to Hammer right now. He was within a tenth of Hammer into turn 1, but he is all over the back of him now, and he might just go for it at any moment.
Yeah, so that's really thrown Ian Raise's chance at the podium in the bin. I think he's just that's Kinwin going a bit slow on exit, but that he's cleared now. So yeah, he's just gonna try and build that 3-second gap to P5 now, I think.
And XXP on the back of Crystals, or I think Crystals actually went past him, missed that one, but yeah, both of them are really close, but Crystals has a penalty, so XXP currently looking at a P6.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets close enough, he could actually potentially get a P5 with Neo Race's penalty.
Yeah,
but that'll have to be a big ask.
Yeah, he needs to gain around 7 seconds or so, or 4 seconds or so.
Yeah, and there's only 4 laps to go, so he has to gain a second a lap at least.
Neth with no ERS though.
Yep. So this might be the time where the Hammer begins to actually
and he needs
pull
to
away
look a bit at the exit there. So he's gonna lose time because of it. And those hard tires are not looking too good, and I think that one extra lap on the hard tires of Hammer might have been playing into effect here already. He needs to do 3 or 4 more laps, so it's gonna be over 20 laps on those hards. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how the race plays out. What about a puncture?
Imagine that, like both Neth and the Hammer have a puncture at the very end, and they have to drag race with puncture tires to cross the line. I don't think we'll be able to see that, but it's an interesting thought.
If that happens, the possibility of Ace is winning is quite high because he is on the youngest tires of the top 3.
Yep. And he's only 4.5 seconds away as well, so it's still within.
Oh, his Neth is lagging.
Yeah, Neth is having internet issues. Hopefully this doesn't hinder his performance. NJJ picks up another 3-second time penalty.
Hopefully this isn't a Cholmondoldi moment where he...
No. Cholmondoli or Chommandele or I don't know. Difficult to pronounce. Chom. Yeah, so the only real battles going on at the moment is XXP against Crystals. Because Neth seems to sort of be falling behind a little bit now with no ERS.
Yes, Nico, Samuel Cholmondela.
Yes, Samuel Monday Lee. I think that's the way you pronounce it, yes.
Chumley, isn't it Chumley?
It is Chumley, yeah. Mr. Chumley. Funny names. Anyways, yeah, so to people not understanding, Season 2 he was fighting for the championship win. He had a disconnection. Well, he didn't get disconnected, but his internet was lagging all over the place. He had an incident. Although his rival, Light Cruiser, he actually got disconnected in the same race. So very unfortunate, anticlimactic end to Season 2, but
yeah, as Neth is actually ghosted because I think he is disconnected and too laggy. So
It says he's P12 for me.
Oh.
Is that
That's the funny Codemasters game by F1. I mean F1 game by Codemasters doing funny
yeah.
things.
Yeah, it definitely seems ghosted for me now, but hopefully he can get his connection back by the time.
Oh, he's back to P2.
Yeah.
10 overtakes on one straight. Let's go.
Wow. So yeah, the overtake of the day goes to Neth. He manages to take 10 positions in Sector 2, never seen before. He's still lagging a little bit. That's
I love that the car is kind of teleporting left and right on the straight, and you can hear the tires squealing when that happens. Looking at Hammer's tires here, they don't look they've seen better days. Let's put it like
Yeah.
that.
They definitely have. As he's about to hit.
As Neth
Neth
leaves
has
the
left the session. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So that's basically secured the Hammer's win. I think. Can I still invite him to the?
Yeah, you should
Let's
be
see.
able to.
Let's send him an invite. Where is he?
You know, it's really nice and what's the word? Thoughtful of Neth to actually not take points from the championship fight by disconnecting.
Yeah. I think this is exactly what he's thinking. Yeah. But this is just allowing Silent to catch up very fast and allowing their Hammer to drive away very quickly as well. So Neth potentially robbed of a podium here, maybe, depending if he can get his connection back or not. And also another interesting battle. Furious is still within 3 seconds of Neon Rays, so Neon Rays will potentially drop down to P5 come the end of
Neon
the
Ray's
race.
tires there aren't really good. Neth is gonna keep the podium even if he is disconnected. Neon Rays needs to gain around 5 seconds, no, even more seconds if he actually wants to keep that podium, which I don't think is achievable at this point. But yeah, Neth's disconnected car is just saying goodnight.
Yeah, so I think he's about to lose P2 now to Silent, which is a very sad ending to his surprising race, I'd say. Just sort of came out of nowhere. But, yeah. I think he's actually joined back now. I'm not sure.
Still
The car doesn't seem... Okay, the car doesn't seem ghosted for me anymore, but okay, Silent, he's just right behind now. Guess that you guys drive through him, so yeah, that's... Neth loses out. Neth bot not doing what it's supposed to do. Furious catching onto Neon Race again, so I think Neon Race is struggling with those 9-lap old soft tires. I just quickly jump to the battle for P10. I think NJJ has enough penalties that Goran's going to get it in the end, as he picks up another time penalty. So I think Goran is just going to get P10 at the end. So not really much of a battle there.
Neth saying, yoo-hoo, amazing game. Wah.
He's saying amazing game, wah. You heard it from the man himself. He's still going to maintain P3 though, I believe. Unless, I don't know, he didn't technically finish the race. Nah, I think he'll maintain P3, so he's lost P2.
Yeah, but you know, Neth, pray emoji for you. Very considerate, very considerate for you to let Silent go by and fight for the championship and not taking his points. Thank you.
Yeah, and Furious actually very close to Neon Rays now. Yeah, he's gonna get him on the time penalty. It's always more satisfying to get them on the track. So he's 5 tenths behind.
Well, this is happening. Hammer will just cross the finish line to win for the 3rd time in a row, making it 3 in a row for a 3rd time in the row. No wait, that doesn't work. But you know, it's 3 in a row for Hammer.
Yeah, it's 3 in a row for Hammer. So Hammer gets a hat trick. Neon Race crosses the line P4, but gets P5 because of the time penalty.
Furious with a really good race. I think that pit lane fight potentially cost him the podium. With not actually leaving the session, it definitely did, I would say. Ace, after having the unlucky Australia race and missing out Bahrain, picks up a P2. So nicely done from Ace. XXP with a really good P6. With some nice fighting as well from XXP, so well done to him. Crystals with his streak of unluckiness, he also makes it a hat trick. with unlucky
Yeah.
races, I would say. Zola, who picked up the fastest lap in P8, Larson in P9, and Goran, the last person to pick up points in P10. And then we have NJJ, Kinwin, and Eladro, who might not have finished close to anyone else, but you know, at least he finished.
Yeah.
As for some reason the car went to chase cam. Driver of the day goes to Zola. Who would you give driver of the day to?
I kind of want to say Hammer actually, because he started P4. No, sorry, P3. Got jumped at the start. Went down to P4, and he just he made the undercut work, and he managed to defend from left the whole time around. But I feel like we gave him driver of the day last time around, so I'm not sure if I want to give it this time around. But he did have a really good race.
I'll leave it up to you. I can't decide.
I'll leave it up to the chat then, if there's anyone left.
He was definitely a really good performance. Didn't crumble under pressure like Alexander Albon does, but you know,
Yeah.
yeah. Zola with the fastest lap time. Actually, Zola taking the fastest lap time by just a couple of hundreds. So
yeah, but it's enough. So he gets an extra point there in P8. So decent race from him actually as well. Starting P16, not bad.
let me go interview screen. I think driver of the day for Hammer is quite acceptable, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a very strong race. Definitely made everything played into his favor, and he forced the undercut, and it worked out in the end for him.
Anyways,
Even though Neft did have that disconnection, I don't think he would have gotten past.
let's move Hammer in here. Did I get you mid sentence again?
I was listening to Neon, but it's fine.
Oh, that's good. You don't need to listen to him. Anyways, hat trick, 3 in a row. I think last week around you said you have mixed feelings about China and you don't really know the track. And today you won it, so how does it feel?
I think the undercut was really important because that brought me ahead. Because no way would I have had Neon on for a net at least. Netlook on pace. He was so quick. So yeah, there was that. It was a struggle, but I'm really happy with that one. Obviously.
Yeah. Having Neth behind you for the majority of the race and then cutting through the field that's on a different strategy. Were you feeling some pressure from behind? Were there moments where you were like, he might get me?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I had some pretty decent ERS and fuel management, I think. So I always left something in the tank. But like the last 5 laps, when he was like at 2-3 tenths, I was running out. So I was thinking, maybe he's playing it smart and he's just gonna move in the final lap. So I kind of was already resigning to probably second place because he was just 2-3 tenths quicker than me, I think, especially in clean air. He was seriously faster than me. So I was definitely feeling the pressure, but I had some luck of putting some cars between us at some point in the middle of the race. But then near the end, I was really feeling like it was a lost battle. And then his game disconnected. He was already desyncing for me like a few moments, so I was wondering what was going on. But then he disconnected, and then I could finally relax because that was insane. He was really quick, Net.
Yeah.
Yeah, but saying that, like, you managed to hold him off for, I don't know, like 10 laps or so. So good defending from your part, and I think he couldn't really catch you at the end.
No, he was just like the right-hander was so important. If I had like 4 tenths, then I knew it would be enough. If it was like 2 tenths, I would have been toast. So that was the difference. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. That was hard. Really hard.
Also next week coming up is your home Grand Prix. What about that one? What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I practiced that one for ages in the beginning of the game, so it should be good.
Oh,
So,
4 in a row?
I hope so, but it's never certain. You never know what other people are gonna do. I mean, look today in qualifying, I was quite surprised by some other people who were simply quicker, and they were quicker in the softs in the beginning of the race as well, because I was kind of struggling to hold on. I don't know if that was obvious on stream, but I was really, just because of the DRS and ERS, I could just follow them. But then on the hards, I felt much better, and the undercut worked. So I hope something like that isn't needed at Zandvoort, honestly.
Well, anyways, you've got 3 in a row now. Your championship lead is quite a bit now, with current P2 in the standings being Neon Rays, and he will be quite a bit back. Almost like, if I look at this fast, like almost over 30 points basically. So you've got one free race of you don't need to race, so he can catch up.
Yes, I can crash out at Monaco. Woo!
Yeah. All right. So that's your aim then, I guess.
yeah. I mean, Monaco and Baku, I don't think I've ever done well in a league race there, so I'm pretty much know for sure it's gonna be a lost cause. So if I get points there, it's a bonus basically. So
Okay,
that's,
let's put it like this. You winning a race, sure, that's cool and all, but finishing a race at Monaco, I think that should be an achievement you should be proud of.
yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know what it is. Like on Singapore, I'm fine, but in Monaco, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
There's
Nico
no
just
room
posted the
for error.
standings. 37 points.
Yeah, that's a nice buffer. I can crash out at Monaco safely now.
Well, anyways, yeah. Thank you for coming in. And at this rate, we'll be seeing you next week again.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. Put him back in. Let's get Silent in here. Hello, Silent. Hopefully, it didn't move you in mid sentence.
Yes, you did.
Perfect. P2. How are you feeling about that P2?
Pretty frustrated, albeit Nev had some bad luck, but considering, I mean, I woke up for the race probably like half an hour before, so no practice and a pretty mediocre setup on the straights. So it's pretty annoying, but you know what? It's what I get. No practice, no actual setup. It's that's what comes out of it. So yeah.
I mean, Pisa is still good considering that, but like, do you like strongly believe you could have fought for the win today?
Yes, definitely. I could have definitely fought for the win. I know everybody was. I think everybody else was running a like 3.7 wing. I had 2.11, so my car was a dog in the straights and pretty good in the corners. So, yeah, most of that time loss was definitely on the straights, which was unfortunate because once I looked at the lap times, it was within a hair of the guys ahead, but all the time I lost was in the straights, so it was pretty unfortunate. I totally miscalculated that.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a bit of an unfortunate situation, but it sounds like you want to gun for P1 next race then.
Yeah, no doubt. I think if I actually put some time into it and get a actual setup, I'll definitely be up there. But yeah, it just takes some more set an actual alarm, maybe. But yeah, that's my biggest enemy right now.
Well, yeah, and you've got Zandvoort coming up next week. How do you feel about that one?
Not sure actually. I haven't ran Zandvoort seriously before, like ever. So I don't know. I like the track layout. I like the characteristics. It's an old school kind of track in my opinion, and I like the flow of the racetrack. So I hope I can put it together. And hopefully have a good race, better race on this, and hopefully be able to maybe unlock those extra couple tenths.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, looking forward to see what you can actually do in Zandvoort. And yeah, thank you for coming in. Even though it was a bit dragged without consent, but it doesn't matter. This is not a democracy. Anyways, yeah, I'll move you back in. And yeah, see you next time.
See ya.
See ya. And let's move in Neon Rays here. Hello, did I get you mid-sentence?
No, I was prepared this time.
Ah, perfect. Your strategy, starting on mediums, doing softs for the last stint for quite a few laps.
Was a mistake. Yeah. Obviously, I should have gone on to the hards, but I thought, hey, you know what? These mediums are only losing like a good amount, like a tiny amount of wear per lap. I should be able to get them to, to the lap where softs can survive until the end. I just didn't think that the softs would lose like 4 fucking seconds. Oh, I'm so disappointed. That's why I gotta practice a lot more. Like do this, check this stuff beforehand.
Yeah.
Because you guys were saying, like maybe you know something. No, it was all on a whim. Although, what's it called? What I do always do is I did it here as well because apparently Silent was running 211 wings, and what I just try and do for every race is to compensate, like try and get a stable enough car but with as low wings as possible. So I was doing 4 or 5 wings, which was good enough, if I were to be fighting people, but the strategy didn't let it, so I should have probably just done the softer hards.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you did quality on medium tires. What was your thought process to try and do that?
Depression, that's what. But seriously, knowing that Hammer's done what are they, 29 threes, 29 twos in other leagues, and then my fastest short quality time was a 29.5. It still would have been a little high up, but I just didn't have the confidence to stay in the DRS of those guys. And I knew if I were to drop DRS on those guys, I would not get it back, and I would just lose positions anyway. So I gambled on the alternate strategy again. But honestly, that's the second time, actually, well, counting other leagues, manyth time that it's failed me. So I'm just gonna stick to the normal strategy from now on, I think.
All right. I mean,
Except
I
for
guess
Hungary.
I guess you learn every race. Yeah.
Yeah, live and learn.
What about Zandvoort next week?
Zandvoort. From the past, I know I'm okay on it. I'm okay. Though I thought I was okay on China as well. The thing I need to be careful of is because I've done this like every race now, is I'd get a warning on a straight because I'd be checking something on my MDF. I need to stop doing that because that just completely throws away points every time.
Yeah. I mean, you also run with the stream in the background. Maybe we're a bit distracting as well sometimes. No?
It's distracting, but it's also useful to know like what's happening around me. So that's sort of why I've got that on.
Oh, okay.
And I would have it on my computer, but for some reason, streaming YouTube on my computer maxes out my RAM, which would make my game crash. So hell yeah.
Love to hear it.
But yeah, that's about it.
Well, yeah. Looking forward to see if you can challenge Hammer in Zandvoort. Hopefully you can, because it's the Hamilton level dominance is slowly,
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I am gonna challenge him. Like Zandvoort isn't a track where you can really, what's it called, compensate on your wings. It's only got one straight, so every overtake you make will be through the corners pretty much. Unless you've got really absolutely absurd low wings, and you can make that happen through the corners. Then yeah, only through corners can you overtake. So maybe.
Yep. Anyways,
but yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Good night. See ya.
You too.
And on that note, we can finish today's race. It was much better than I thought it would be. So that's a positive. As you said, China is one of those things. It's either gonna be a solid 7+ or a 3-. So Today was a 7+, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say so as well. It's pretty good. Some nice fights in the end.
Yeah, and on that note, yeah, we'll be ending the stream, and make sure to check out Year 1, which is starting in just over 30 minutes. And yeah, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.